She shoots me a dirty look, displeased with my disrespectful tone. She just had her regular Botox treatment and her face looks frozen in place. Nothing moves, wrinkles, or reveals any kind of emotion whatsoever. Then again, that's how my mother is, with or without Botox treatments. To show feeling is to show weakness, something my father and mother despise, along with failure, underachievement, and embarrassment to the family name. Something I frequently cause. But doesn't it seem just a little bit silly? I say, knowing I'm treading on thin ice. My father hates when we question the rules, but sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut because I keep it shut too often. To not be able to slouch just a little since we're the only ones here?
Maybe we should start having her eat at her own table, my father says, taking a bite of his asparagus. You know how I feel about distractions while I'm eating.
He's always in a pissy mood, but he's extra pissy today. He had to join my mother at a mandatory meeting at my school with the principal because I got caught ditching yesterday. It wasn't really a big deal, I just missed gym. But they got called in, and that, in and of itself, caused an embarrassment to my father, which he repeatedly reminded me of in the car ride home.
She never does anything right, he'd said to my mother as we drove home. I'm so sick and tired of the drama. Either she needs to straighten up or she needs to go.
He'd said it like I was a dog or something equally as easy to discard. My mother continues to glare at me from across the table, warning me to keep my mouth shut, that my father is not in the mood for any arguing, like he ever is. She has blue eyes and blonde hair identical to mine, but her hair has started to gray, so she dyes it once every couple of weeks so her roots won't show. She gets manicures, won't wear anything else besides name-brand designers, and has a shoe closet that's as big as a lot of people's houses. She likes her expensive wine and, of course, her medication. I hope to God I don't grow up to be her. But if my mom has her way, I'll be married off to some well-known family's son, despite the fact that we won't be in love.
Love is stupid. Love won't get you happiness, she always says.
It's how my mother and father met, which is probably why they sit on opposite ends of the dining table and never make eye contact. Sometimes I wonder how I was ever created, since I've never even seen them kiss. My father's phone chimes from inside his shirt pocket, and he slips it out, checking the screen. He hesitates, and then silences it before returning it to his pocket.
Who was that?
My mother asks, even though she already knows. We all do. Even the maids.
Business, he mutters,
and stuffs his mouth with asparagus. Business is his 24-year-old mistress, who my mother knows about but won't ever say anything to my father about. I overheard her talking to her mother about it, and they'd both agreed that it was a sacrifice of her luxurious life. My mother acted like it was no big deal, but I could hear the hurt in her tone then, like I can spot agitation in her eyes now. I think it makes her feel like she's losing her beauty and youth, since she's getting older, grayer, and the wrinkles are starting to show.
Well, will you please tell Business not to call at the dinner table? She stabs her fork into her chicken. And Lila, I will not warn you again. Sit up straight or you will go to your room without dinner. You're going to end up with a hump on your back and then no one will ever want you. I really think we should reconsider sending her to that boarding school in New York that you sent Abby to, my father says without looking at me. He straightens his tie and takes a bite of food. Actually, I think we should. I don't want to have to worry about raising her anymore. It's too much drama, and I don't have the patience for it. Now, Douglas, I don't think we need to send her that far away, my mother says, letting the mistress call go like it's as easy as popping one of the pills she takes every morning. It's almost the same conversation they have every single night. My dad says, "Hey, let's send her away," to which my mother replies, "Now, Douglas." She's been getting into too much trouble, my father grimaces, cutting his chicken. Skipping school to go shopping and hanging out with people who aren't up to our standards. She has average grades at best, and 0 accomplishments besides looking pretty. I ran into Fort Allman the other day, and his son just got excited.